Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Joel. I'm back with another informative video, and I'm going to be giving you hella sauce in this video. I'm going to be telling you exactly, step by step, how to build a Facebook ad campaign for your clothing brand. Maybe some of you watching this have seen me before, but if you haven't, I have my own six-figure clothing brand, and I've scaled multiple brands to over 5 or 6 figures using ads, so I know what I'm talking about. When you first get into ads, I know how confusing it can be, all the numbers and settings you are looking at, and even then when I first started running ads for my brand, I had no idea what I was doing, and I was losing a bunch of money. So I'm going to be telling you step by step how to do this so you don't lose money like I did. Let's go to my computer and show you how this shit is really done. All right, we are in the Facebook ad manager right now. Your screen is probably gonna look similar to this, pretty much a blank slate. There is no campaigns, no creatives, no ads at all, and pretty much basically a new or fresh account. Now, before I hop into, creating the ads and what campaigns you should use, I do want to say that you shouldn't really be running ads if your content is getting zero reach or your product in general is just bad. I always say this, ads amplify what is working. They are not going to save your brand in any way. So if you are like posting videos, video after video after video, and you're just getting no views, no engagement, no nothing, I would highly recommend you don't run ads until you find a format that works for your brand or a product that works for your brand. Because if you just run ads on a bad image, bad video, or just a bad product, that is not going to convince anybody. You're just going to waste a bunch of money on something that just doesn't work in the first place. Now that we got that out the way, there are some things you want to check off before you actually make your first campaign. And that would be making sure your conversions API is connected to your Shopify and making sure your pixel is good. So if you head over to Shopify and you install the Facebook and Instagram app right here, or just go to the Shopify store, you want to install this app, and then you want to go to your settings. You want to make sure your shared data is set to maximum and you have the right pixel connected to it. Make sure you are using the pixel that is connected to your ad account. Otherwise, you're going to be feeding data to something that you're not using at all, and you're just going to be targeting random people. So you want to make sure these two things are lining up. You want this to maximum, and you want this pixel to be the same one that is in your ad account. Now that we have the pixel and conversion API out the way, we are going to get started making our first campaign. I'm going to start with a sales campaign. You're going to go to the top left right here and click create. And right here, you're going to see a bunch of different settings. We want to hit sales because we are mainly going for sales. I know a lot of you may know about, engagement campaigns, traffic campaigns. Right now, I'm going under the assumption that you are here to get some sales and make some money with your brand. So click sales and then click continue. Right here, you have the option of Advantage Plus or manual. I go manual for prospecting. So just click manual and you will be good. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So now you might see the screen. You might be a little confused. There's a lot going on here. I promise you, it's really not big of a deal. We're going to break this down step by step. For your campaign name, I recommend staying organized. Have the date on here as well as what the campaign is for. For example, today is May 5th. So I would put 55/25, and then I would just put whatever product or whatever I have, or like collection, whatever you got going on for your brand. Just stay organized. Pretty self-explanatory. You don't really have to worry about any of this, to be honest. Buying type, auction, leave it how it is. Sales, and then Advantage Plus catalog ads. I check this off. I don't really like using this. I don't think this is good, to be honest. At least not yet. Maybe Facebook will improve it in the future, but as of now, I turn this off. Now, Advantage campaign budget. This honestly, you can turn this off or on depending on how or what style you want to run your ads, but generally I turn this on. I highly recommend you put your daily budget to above $20 a day. Don't really go below 20 because then it takes too long to get data and you might be going 2 days without any sales, or like you might get a sale once every 2 or 3 days. We want to get information quickly. We want to get a sale on our winning ad with at least within the first 12 or 24 hours so we know that something is working or not. So I generally recommend starting with $50 a day. I highly recommend $50 a day because with this amount per day, you can pretty much quickly see which ad is gonna get a sale, which ad is performing good, which ads are not performing good. And yeah, after like a couple days, you will really see if what you're doing is working or not. But leave that at 50. If you have to go lower, go lower. If you want to go higher, go higher. But generally, new Facebook accounts will have a limit of $50 a day. That is normal. Now come down here. You don't have to really worry about any of these settings right here, to be honest. None of these settings are really important yet. A/B test, I don't really recommend. I've never really used this, to be honest. I've never seen anyone else recommend this, so I just leave this how it is. You can break down your audience segments if you want. You just have your pixel track purchasers and people who are engaged with your brand. Now we go to the ad set. level. I recommend going for a specific angle or a specific type of ad for the ad set. So let's say, for example, I want this ad set to only be my images. So again, in this ad set, I'm only going to put images. I'm not going to mix and match images and videos together. I'm going to just make sure I put images in this ad set. So now we are going to go maximum number of conversions and we are going to send them to our website. I don't do website and shop because I really don't like the shop option, to be honest. If you're at like another type of e-commerce niche, I can see how shop would work. But for a clothing brand, I just prefer sending them to the website, to be honest. But here we have maximum number of conversions. And then we're going to put our pixel here. Make sure this pixel right here lines up with whatever you put in Shopify. This is going to be different because this is a different Facebook ad account I'm using to show this video on. But make sure this right here aligns with this right here. And you're going to select purchase right here. Very nice. And make sure your pixel is showing that it's active when you do this. I'm going to touch on this a little bit later when I go to the ad level, but make sure your pixel is active and I will show you how you can check that. Now let's go down. Dynamic creative, I really don't like this option either. It's honestly going away soon, like Facebook is saying right here. I know some people use the flexible ad format, but I don't really like that either because I don't set up my campaign in a way that this will be beneficial. You could check this on or off depending on how you run your ads, but I highly recommend you just check this off. Just check it off. Start date, just put it for the next day and put it at midnight. Just set this to 12 a.m., whatever time you're at. It doesn't have to be at midnight. I know a lot of people preach that it absolutely has to be at midnight, but it doesn't really have to. I do midnight. A lot of other people do midnight because it's beneficial to see a full day worth of data. But if you have a drop at 3 p.m. and you really want your ads to start at 3 p.m., just schedule it for 2:30 so they have time to process, first of all. But it doesn't have to be at midnight. Just do whatever time is most beneficial to you. So now we're gonna scroll down here. None of these options right here really matter much. Locations, this is self-explanatory. Do whatever locations you want your ads to run in. So if you are a UK brand, set your ads to run in UK. If you're a US brand, set your brands to run in US or whatever countries you ship to. Just do whatever countries you ship to. If you ship worldwide, I would recommend doing every country but India, to be honest, because I know you get a lot of bots when you do run to the India country. So just be careful where you run your ads to if you don't want a bunch of bots, commenting and a bunch of bot DMs. Just be careful. But for the most part, just run whatever your ads are to whatever country your business is at. And right here, we have Advantage Plus Audience and Advantage Plus Placement. You'll hear a lot of different things from different creators on this app about whether or not to use these. I personally recommend to use them. You can A/B test these if you want. You can switch to original or you can just stick with Advantage Plus. I've stuck to Advantage Plus and I've had good results. I went to original, I've had good results. This is honestly a part where you have to test yourself and see what works best for you. If you want to switch to original audience, you just click this button right here and then you say use original audience. And then from here, you have all these options, and I recommend just leaving it broad. I know some creators will tell you, go to your target age range, put this 18 to 30, 30, 31, or whatever. I highly recommend not doing this because Facebook algorithm is really smart. It knows exactly who it wants to target, but just by from your ads. And if you limit the age, you limit the potential people sharing that ad. For example, if you put 18 to 45, or let's go even lower. If you put 18 to 21, that's your age range. That's your demographic for your brand. Yes, these people are your target audience, but you're excluding someone who is maybe you're excluding someone who is 35 years old and might be interested, or you're even excluding someone that is 53 years old and might share it to that 20-year-old. Like this could be someone's parent. Imagine someone's 53-year-old dad shares your ad to their son and they're like, "Yo, my son would really like this. My son would think this product is really cool." So that's why I highly don't recommend to just limiting your age range really really badly. Just leave it broad. I promise you I've had amazing results running broad. You don't need to go anything crazy. Here we have interest targeting. Again, you can test and find what works best for your brand, but honestly, broad is better than interest targeting at least in the beginning stages of running ads. Just run broad. I promise you'll be fine if you run broad. If your ad is good, it's good. If your ad is bad, it's bad. You only really need to do interest targeting when you're doing more complex setups. You're doing, different types of scaling, different types of strategies. That's the only time you should really do interest targeting. If you want to A/B test interest targeting at the start, you can do that as well. But again, I highly recommend doing broad. You would do better long term if you just stick to broad. But that's if you do OG audience. Like I said, I just do Advantage Plus most of the time. So um, let me see. How do I switch this back? Okay, yeah. I switch it back to Advantage Plus. I just leave it at that. And here we have Advantage Plus placements, or you can do manual placements. Honestly, I don't think this matters much. You can take off Facebook, audience network, and Messenger if you want. If you really want your ads to only be shown on Instagram, 100% your audience is on Instagram. But like I said, the Facebook ad algorithm is super smart. It knows your target audience is already on Instagram. 98% of your ads are already going to be on Instagram if you just do Advantage Plus anyways. The one instance it might show your ad on Facebook is if it needs to show somebody your ad at the right time. I promise you, it's not going to make life or death difference in your ad if you do Advantage Plus versus manual. I honestly just do Advantage Plus because, like I said, it's going to show the ad to the person on the platform they will most likely respond to. So just leave it at that. Just leave it at Advantage Plus. If you have a really specific ad, then you can probably do manual if you have like a really specific story ad you want to do. But I don't think all that is necessary, to be honest. And I've had crazy results just doing it this way. But as far as in here, you have your ad, just whatever image you're going for. I would recommend, like I said, sticking to a specific angle with your images. So I'm gonna just name this flat lay because I'm gonna use a flat lay image later. But here you have your Facebook and Instagram account. Just link these on your Facebook business suite. Link to your Facebook and Instagram, and then it should show up right here, easy peasy. And then right here, you have create an ad or use an existing post. If the content you have on your brand is enough, or if you're running ads for a brand and they have tons of content on their page, you can use existing content or you can create an ad. I highly recommend using existing content if the post has a lot of engagement, has a lot of likes and comments or whatever. I highly recommend using existing content for that. If you have an ad you created in Photoshop or like After Effects, or you like edited an ad yourself, I highly recommend just uploading it here by manual upload if it's not on the clothing brand page. So I'm going to show an example of creating an ad right here. So here you have a manual upload. We're going to do a single image or video. We are going to check off multi-advertiser ads. The reason we check this off is because we don't want our ads shown with other people's ads. We don't want people, having to come to a decision on whether to buy from us or a different brand. So I just check this off. It just makes life so much easier. And all these other options, I really recommend don't touching them. It don't matter much. Here, send them directly to the collection page. Just get the URL for the website, get the URL of the collection, or get the product link directly. If you can get the product link directly, I highly recommend doing that. You can just reduce the friction. So just go ahead and put the direct URL in here, or at least a collection page if it's like a collection ad. Display link, I don't really touch this. You can just put the name of the website. For example, my website is omarosis.net. I would just put that in there. But again, you don't really need to put anything in that box. Your ad will run fine without it. Browser add-ons, you want to click none. We don't want any of these as a clothing brand, to be honest. Here, we're going to set up our creative. You're going to click image ad, and then you're going to go to media. And then you're just going to find a creative from here that you want to put as an ad, or you're going to upload it. Like I said, this is images, so I'm going to just go with a flat lay image right here. I have my image right here, so I'm going to select it, and I'm going to click next. I'm going to disable flex media. I don't want that at all. And then I'm going to crop the ad. Right here, boom. Right there, the ad is perfectly cropped. You want to make sure your ad is showing your product in a way that like the cropping is like fitting the ad. You can see the entire product within the cropping. So boom, as you can see my product, it looks nice right there. And then I'm going to crop it again right here. Boom. If you can get it right for this placement, all the better. But honestly, this placement doesn't really get shown much anyways. So I just leave it like that. I don't really care about the horizontal placement showing. The square and vertical placements are important because this is for reels and stories, and this is for the feed and like explore page. So these two placements are important to have good cropping on. But here we are. And then for the primary text and headline, these are really important as well. You want to make sure you have a strong offer and a strong brand image when it comes to the headline and primary text. So for the primary text, you either want to do an offer or something interesting about the product. So right here, I would either do, I don't know, free next day shipping. Like free next day shipping, that is a pretty enticing offer. I'm also going to test another one. I'm going to do, this is my reversible zip up. So let's just say 2-in-1 zip up. Like this is pretty solid. And then for my headline, I would just do my brand name, and then I would just do whatever the product name is. And then I would just do out now. Like that is pretty these I would say this is pretty solid in itself. Obviously, you can think a little bit harder on this. You can think a little bit longer than me because like I just cooked this up in literally 30 seconds. You just saw that. But your call to action, set this to shop now. You don't really have to worry about testing all these different options because you need an extremely high budget to even see data that's worth, acting on when it comes to this. And you want people to buy for your brand anyways. And most people just use shop now. So just do shop now, just make it nice and easy and then just click next. All this AI stuff, don't worry about it, disable it. And as for enhancements, just disable all of this enhancements. You don't want any of these. I turn them off. I turn my music off. I turn all of these off. I know some brands want to do catalog ads, so you can turn this on maybe if you want to do that, but I turn it off because I want eyes on just this product only. If it's a collection, maybe I would consider doing catalog, but 9 times out of 10, I would leave this off. And then you just click OK. I recommend again not using these AI options. I mean, you can if you want to, but I personally don't use them. I'm just teaching you the way I do it. I really recommend not using this because I don't like factors I can't control. I don't like AI text, people seeing text that I haven't put, people seeing options I haven't put, and not really having any control over that in the algorithm or whatever. You want to make sure your pixel right here is green. It's disabled on my screen because obviously this is not the pixel I use for my brand. This is not the pixel I use to run ads on. So it's going to be red, but you want to make sure this is connected to your Shopify. You want to make sure the events are firing off in your event manager. You want to make sure this little color right here is green. You want to make sure this circle right here is green and everything is looking good. If this shows red and you have this error right here, this means your pixel is not tracking people from your ads properly. It's not saving data from people who are clicking your ads. And you're just basically burning money at that point. I made the biggest mistake of leaving this red when I first started running ads, and I was wondering why I wasn't making any money, why I wasn't making any sales. So please make sure this thing right here is green and ready to go. If it's red, that means something is wrong. So please make sure that is good. But everything else, all of this does not really matter much. We are a clothing brand. We don't want app events and online offline events. I think they got rid of this. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. URL parameters, this can be important as you scale because a lot of brands, as they scale, they use something called triple well, which is just a third-party service they use to track their ad metrics. So you would just put the triple well URL parameter in here, and that will help you track your ads better. But if you're just first starting out, you have no reason to worry about any of this at the moment. As you scale, though, you will learn about other programs that you can use to track your ad metrics. But now that you have your first ad right here, we are going to quick duplicate it right here, quick duplicate. And now we're just going to put a different ad in here. So I would just edit media and then I would just do something else. So I would just do right here, crop, and then right here, boom. And then I would just do like that is fine. But I would change the primary text and headline. I would just be like my sweatpants are out now, baggy sweatpants. Next day shipping, whatever. Change it how you want. I'm not gonna show it because it would just be redundant at this point. I already showed you how to do it, and I feel that you are confident in yourself enough to just change some text. So please just do that, and then I would just change this to, let's just say, flat lay sweatpants. So like I said, actually I want to be more specific with this. I'm gonna just do flat lay images. So right here, and then from here, I would just duplicate it again. I would add another ad. I might do another ad with just the black sweatpants or the gray sweatpants or the pink sweatpants, like just a singular flat lay with that. And then I would just duplicate it. And there you go. You have like 4 ads ready to go right there. Now that we got our image ads done, all you literally want to do is just quickly duplicate this so you save the ad set settings. Just delete all the ads right here like this. Delete all of them. And then create an ad. And then this is going to be our video ads. So just change this to videos. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure everything is good right here. It should be all good because you literally just duplicated it. And then you can just change this to whatever video angle you want. So I'm gonna just say, let me just name this video flat. Actually, no, let me just name this video voice over video. Boom. And then I'm going to use existing content. Now, when it comes to videos, I really recommend just putting existing content. These videos, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be on your brand page or whatever brand ads you're running. It's going to be on their page. So literally just take it from their page. It already has the engagement. It already has whatever information that would entice a customer. Just run it from the page. You don't have to go to their page and download it and figure out and how to upload it and whatever. You don't need to do all that. Just run it directly from their page. And it has the benefit that the ad will keep all the engagement. It will keep all the new likes it gets from it being shown as an ad. So here's what you want to do. You want to use existing content. You want to remove Shopify catalog. And then when it comes to selecting which video to use as an ad, literally just see what video has performed best for the brand. So let me just go over here. You can literally look at my brand. You can literally see what videos did the best. This video right here got 630K views. So I would literally just run this as an ad. So I would see, okay, I posted this February 11th. I would go back to my Facebook. I would go to post. I would go to videos. And then I would just go to February 11th. Boom. Right here. I got the reel right there. And then I would just set this to shop now. And then I would just put the URL of the product right there. I don't have to do anything extra. It is just right there. The ad is right there, ready to go. And then as I scroll down, I put shop now. I turn off any enhancements, save. And then like I said about the pixel, you want to make sure this is green. We already discussed this. But yeah, just like that, we had a video ad ready to go. And if you want to see how it looks in different placements, you can come over here to advanced preview. And you can see exactly how your ad is going to look in every placement. You can make sure all your croppings are solid, or you can make sure all the croppings look good. You can go to the feed, you can go to reels. You can see all the placements are looking pretty solid right here. And then from here, you do exactly what I taught you earlier. You come over here, quick duplicate, and just put a different ad in, just put a different video in. Just come over here, change content, either upload it or just take it from the page. I'm gonna just select a random video right here, and then I just select it. Boom. And then I just change this to whatever. I'm gonna just say flat lay zip up video because I think that's what I selected. I just changed the name so I'm nice and organized. And then I come over here to make sure the placement refreshes. And then boom, I literally have a new ad right there ready to go. Not complicated at all, I promise you. And then you just come over here, quickly duplicate. Boom, now you have four video ads ready to go, whether you took it from the page or you directly uploaded it. And then you can create another ad set right here, create ad set. And then you can just do whatever angle you want to go. You can just say poster ads. Poster ads. And then from here, you would just do the same exact steps I taught you earlier. You would just upload your poster ads. You would just upload the individual image you have of the poster. You know, you have a poster that says, you know, my product is out now, come by, whatever, just whatever ad you have. But like, just make sure it matches whatever ad set you have so you're organized. For example, I'm not going to put a video under a poster ad set. Like, it just makes no sense. You want to be organized. Being organized is the best because it allows you to see data very nice and easy, and you will know what's working and what's not working pretty quickly. Boom, from here, you should have all your ads pretty much organized. I only recommend 3 to 4 ads per ad set if you're starting at like a $30 to $40, $50 budget. I don't recommend much more because you don't want to spread your budget too thin with the ads. But once you have your ads here, they're all nice and organized. All you literally have to do is click publish, and Facebook will automatically review your ads. If they have any issues, they will contact you. They'll email you. They'll be like, yo, you got to verify yourself to run your ads, or, you know, we need your payment information to be verified, whatever. They're probably going to email you that if it's your first time running ads. But if it's not your first time running ads, you can literally just click publish and your ads will be scheduled nice and easy. That is pretty much how you set up a sales campaign. Now I'm going to briefly talk about a traffic campaign. You typically want to run this before you drop for your brand. I really recommend you don't run this as you're dropping for your brand. Just leave all your money for sales. And I only recommend having like 10 or 20% of your budget go to traffic campaign. I highly recommend you do not drive a traffic campaign to a locked website for your clothing brand. The reason you do not want to do this is because it leads to bad quality traffic on your SMS list, and you're going to fill your SMS list up with people who are just not willing to buy, people who don't really care about your brand like that, people who are not really loyal to your brand, who are really rocking with your brand. I highly recommend just leading them directly to your Instagram page so there's a bit of friction between them discovering your brand and them signing up for your SMS list. You typically want to fill your SMS list up with sales campaign. As people click on your sales campaign, you want to have an SMS or email pop-up that collects them. I just don't recommend driving a traffic campaign to a locked website. This just I understand why people do this, but the advice I'm gonna give you is it's not always about the numbers. It's about the quality of the numbers. I'd rather have 50 people who are 100% going to buy than 100 people who are maybe going to buy. So let's just set up this traffic campaign. It's honestly way simpler than a sales campaign. We're going to go manual here. And then It is pretty much the same concepts I told you. From here, let's just say announcement, feed posts. I recommend just leaving Instagram profile because most of you clothing brands are just Instagram only. Budget, I like I said, I don't recommend a high budget for traffic campaign. If you're a huge brand and you wanna run, like, $200 a day on a traffic campaign just to really boost that engagement, by all means, knock yourself out, but if you're a brand around my size or even less, really just do, like, $10 for 2 weeks. You will be fine. Locations, we already discussed this. Do whatever location works best for you, and placements, like I said, earlier, this doesn't matter for you, just test and works best for you. Honestly, for traffic campaigns, I just leave it how it is, and then the ad single image or video. Um, I don't know why it's asking me to authenticate my account, but like I said, you want to do website events, make sure your pixel is active, and then you just use existing content, and then you just select your content right here. For example, I'm gonna just do post, I'm going to do photos, and then I'm going to just select my announcement post. This is my announcement feed post, and then I would just select visit Instagram profile. I would disable any enhancements, and then boom. And then from here, you would literally just duplicate it if you have another announcement post, and then you would just make a new ad set if you have videos. So if you have videos, just make a new ad set and just do the exact same process I taught you earlier. You don't want to mix videos and images. I don't know if I said that earlier. You don't want to mix videos and images because they have different metrics that they are qualified on. So just separate them and you would be doing just fine. That is pretty much how to set up a sales campaign and a traffic campaign for your clothing brand. Once you launch your ads, you want to let them run for at least 72 hours or 3 days before you make any decisions. When it comes to sales ads, I highly recommend running it for 3 days because sometimes the first day doesn't go good and the second day might be, okay. And then the third day, it finally clicks with its audience. It finds the right people. So just don't make decisions too quick. Be patient. Ads is really a patience game. If you make too many decisions, if you're just constantly changing stuff, you're never going to get results because the algorithm doesn't have time to find a targeted audience. Now, if this feels like a lot to learn on your own and you want to go about this the right way and you want to learn my exact mindset, my exact funnels, my exact strategies, you can click the first link down in the description and I will literally help you one-on-one set up your ads. I will literally help you with your ad strategy. I'll help you with your content. I'll help you know what exact funnels and things you should be looking out for with your ads so you can be as profitable as possible. Like I said, you can check it out if you want to work one-on-one with me. Just answer some questions and we will get on the call ASAP. Hopefully the step-by-step tutorial I did for you helped you have a clear mindset when it comes to setting up ads for a clothing brand and how you can set up your own ads for your clothing brand. If you have any more questions, leave them down in the comment section down below, or you can ask them in my Discord. But with that being said, I'm going to catch you guys in the next informational video or whatever video I got next. Peace.